Hi everyone, welcome to the channel, and as always, take a moment to stop and acknowledge the good work that you are continuing to do for yourself. And a big reason why we work on ourselves is because we want to bring ease into our lives. We want to be able to reduce the pain that we are feeling, and we want to be able to understand and navigate our challenges. And we want to bring good things to our present and move into the future with some hope for some better things to come as well. So this episode is going to be good for that, because we're going to be thinking about regrets, and we're going to be digging deep into the dynamics of regrets, and hopefully you can gain some insights into how you approach the specific regrets within your life. So I really want to get into this, but first, for those of you new here, my name is Lee, and I guide others in the transition from past harming patterns. And as it says in the title of the channel, recovery, that can mean recovery from past relationships, that can mean recovery from addiction, which is what brought me here, and that can be recovery from past trauma. So there is something here for everyone, so make sure that you do hit the notification bell for weekly reminders on free guidance for when we're too busy or we're too tired or we're feeling better, because some of the work that we are doing is showing itself within our lives. And as always, make sure to comment, and if you don't comment here, be sure to comment with people that care about you, and be sure to comment to yourself about the things that you are discovering about yourself. And check out the links and resources that are in the description below after the chat. So I'm sure that we are all on the same page when it comes to wanting regrets out of our lives, because they stop us in our tracks. They bring us down, and they keep us stuck, and they prevent us from moving forward. And right out of the gate here, the key point that you must remember is that regrets aren't so much about the circumstances as they are about the dwelling in the present about those circumstances that you are regretting. And I firmly believe here that once you accept this and start living each day with gradual control over your mindsets of regrets, that you will have taken decent steps away from reliving the pain of regrets. And this pain comes in the form of remorse and shame and guilt. And these are heavy hitters. So we need to take the banishing of regrets seriously. So let's just start with the obvious and acknowledge that it is normal to have regrets. And it often seems unavoidable to have regrets because we live among the consequences of our actions. And because regrets are so effective at eroding our self-worth and our confidence, both of which we need to lead happier lives, because our self-worth enables us to realize we deserve better than bashing ourselves, and our confidence allows us to know that we can achieve when we move away from the past. So, how do you lift that anchor of regret, other than by affirming that you do have control over your regrets? And for this first approach, you really get to see what having a regret tells you about yourself. And this is good news, so go easy on yourself and take time to stop and realize that having regrets means you want better things for yourself. Because when you think of the bad things that you believe you said and that you believe you did, and you wish that things would have gone better, this does mean that you do want better. So take that proof and let it set in that having regrets means that you want better for yourself. And use that fuel of regret to move away from harboring the present regrets. And this is not a trick. It is an insight into affirming that you want and that you deserve better than a life with regrets. Another approach to take towards a regret is to literally ask yourself, how many ways is the dwelling in this regret affecting my present life? So, for example, is it making you miserable and therefore influencing your relationships? Is it making you depressed and making it easier to turn to behaviors that will ease the pain, such as substances or overeating? So ask yourself these types of questions. How are these regrets of my past actions affecting my present actions? And take an honest inventory of how you are continuing to harm yourself. And speaking of harm, becoming aware of your regrets is a good chance to tap into your bouts of negative self-talk. And ask yourself if these put-downs of yourself are fueled by remorse, and are they driven from shame? And if they are triggered from regrets, affirm that you want to move away from negative self-talk and therefore away from your regrets. And it is so important in these early phases of tracking and tackling your regrets to acknowledge that you do want to get away from the patterns of dwelling on the things that you cannot change. Because you need to bring this goal of ridding your life of regrets to the forefront so that you can have the ability to target this change that you want for your life. And this change that could mean eventual reduced shame and remorse. And I know that sounds good. So affirm it and repeat it to yourself. I want a life of less remorse and shame. So this next one I like because it turns the tables on regrets. So each time you are feeling a regret about what you did and the circumstances that you are living because of that, ask yourself, where would I like to be? What would I prefer to be doing? And allow these moments of regrets to inspire what you would like to become. And ask yourself, would I have more mental energy to improve myself if I weren't dwelling so often in the things that I regret about my past? And use these bouts of regrets to make some changes. And start with some quick and easy, immediate changes. Perhaps something as simple as your living space. Perhaps getting rid of some old clothes. Or getting rid of reminders that are triggering. And treat it like a purge to make way for new things that you want for yourself. And in keeping with wanting to make improvements for your life, for this next approach, tap into your regrets and cite any patterns related to the past circumstances and ask how these mindsets and approaches are still happening within current situations in your life. Do you still blame others? Are you still choosing the easy way out? Are there still patterns of denial? Are you asking for help? Or rather, are you not asking for help when you need it? Take note of these patterns and ask yourself as many questions as you can about your patterns. And as you ask these questions and try to become honest with yourself in your desire to bring improvements into your life, affirm to yourself that the best way to get beyond past regrets is to make present progress. And over time, you will notice that the more improvements you make, the less regrets you will be facing. And the less regrets, the more time and mental energy you have to create more ease and goals for your life. So in order to get away from living among your regrets, you must take consistent action each day and focus on the person that you want to become. So I want you to really think about this and design your plan to your approach to your regrets. So perhaps watch this again and take notes. And be sure to check out some of the links in the description. I have workbooks that I designed to help with our approach to these challenges. There's a workbook on negative self-talk. There's one on creating self-boundaries. And there's a link to information on my Envision Your Way recovery course as well. So, make it your mission to rid yourself of regrets and design a plan to become all that you want to become. And make sure that you keep your eye on the prize of reducing the pain in your life and bringing hope for your future. And in the meantime, take care.